Hello and warm welcome to another episode of Heaven, making heaven a place on earth, basically. So what we have talked about so far is the understanding of this magical staff representing when we started to count time, year zero. And then all the way here is the paradigm of Pisces until this magical staff, which represent 2012 and the shift of the ages into the era of Aquarius, which we are now in. And then this staff represent 2000 years into the future, where we will shift into the next era. So we have two alleys here. This is, as you might still be able to see, we had a lot of rain here, so we had to pause, and now the rain has settled and we started filming. But this is the beaten path where most of humanity now walks, making the decision from fear and believing in the propaganda and all the media and everything that is pumping out from the people who are supposed to care for humanity and protect us, and taking the injection. And then this part is for those who do not want to take it. Like myself and many others, we believe that we have an immune system that takes care of us.
Tell us if you want us to move anyway.
No worries. Thank you. So it's live. So very nice people here actually on Gozo. Everybody's friendly, want to be helpful and in every way loving. So basically we now have a time window where I would say metaphorically we are now in the same time as when the captain on the ship of Titanic made the understanding of that we are going down, and he told the orchestra, keep on playing, because this calmness that we experience is actually both helping and not helping. So it's good that we don't go into fear, that we keep our calm, that we're grounded and keep on living our lives. However, things are changing, and they're changing fast. And we now have a time window to wake up. So walking down this new higher vibration of being what's called double awake, both spiritually awake and awake to the agenda, which is not for our best, which is actually the opposite. That is called double awake. Awake inner and awake out. So more and more are now waking up, and as you can see there is a strong line here between these, because that thinking, that level of consciousness is fear-based, and we have a clash now between the not awoken yet and those who have awoken, and those who believe that this is an agenda that is not for our good, and those who don't. So what is going on is a separation game, polarization, and we need to start to think of this as like a yin and yang. The whole humanity now needs to, instead of being polarized and blaming each other and coming into conflicts with each other, we need to chill. We need to calm down and just understand we're all in this together. And the best thing we can do is just to chill down, listen to each other, look at both sides of what's going on. Because these guys here, which is most of the population, they don't want to look on this side of the fence. And the propaganda from this, they censor all doctors and all with the knowledge of what's going on, and they're not being heard. And if you want to be a judge, if you want to judge, you know you need to listen to both sides. So my message is that let's do our best to be in our best energy of love, open our hearts, and be understanding to this amazing challenge we're in, which now are opening channels for those who are not awake. More and more are becoming awake. More and more are moving over to this side. And this side, until this goalpost over here, we don't know how long time this is. It can be a few years, it can be maybe up to 10 years, maybe all to 2030. But I would say earlier, I would say to maximum 2025, but it can be to 2030. Maybe with miracles and amazing collaboration from both sides, we can make this happen in a year. I hope so. But what I do know is that this era we're in is very dark, and all the technologies and all the free spirits and all those who have good intention for humanity, they are not yet being let in to the construction of what's going on the planet. However, that is slowly falling, and when we pass this goal line here, that means that this dark era is over, and we can now start to create heaven on earth. This is where it really starts. So right now we're in this in-between time, this transition time. And in this transition time, we need to transition. So we need to understand that this energy here, which has been going on for more than 2,000 years, this is actually going back all the way to the Atlantean time and Lemuria. So when the fall of humanity happened, when we became fallen angels, that is when the dark forces came into this planet and took over. And since then, humanity has been a slave race. And now we are awakened, and we are awakened in millions, millions all over the planet. And it's unstoppable, because this is happening from the sun, from our galactic sun. Inside of every human being, there is an energy going up. So if you look at science and what they say about our DNA strand, we have a 12 DNA strand where only 2 of our DNAs are turned on, and they call the other 10 junk DNA, which is not true at all. Those are amazing spiritual gifts, which are now being turned on. And that is also part of this awakening. When people become more intuitive and we develop highly deep and wonderful spiritual gifts. So with this, all of this time, this window here, what we talk about, has a name, and that name is the Great Awakening. And the Great Awakening means that a big part of humanity will make it, will become awake before we come to this goalpost. Because if we don't wake up, and I understand it's not for everybody, because this is depending on each soul's spiritual journey. If we are a young soul, or we've been highly manipulated about this, what's going on here, then most will not make it. They will not wake up before that, who have that lower consciousness. But those who have a little bit higher consciousness, to middle, all the way to high, if you feel you resonate with this, you have time to awake. And what does this mean? Well, in very simple terms, it means that we have all come to this life as a piece of the puzzle. There is a big vision for humanity, the big plan, the divine plan, which is bigger than all other small agendas going on. And if just each and every one of us wake up to why we came to this life, we can start taking action on that inner knowing. That is something we feel in our tummy, our intuition. We feel it in our heart, something we love, something that is so important, so it trumps everything else. In our priorities, this inner calling is it. And if we don't follow that, that means we are helping the system. We're part of the slave system, and which will continue until we break away from it. So to break away from it, we have to make some changes. That might be quit our job, move, and start doing what is good. And each of us, we have something called the conscience. The conscience inside of us is the higher self, is the spirit, is the connection to the God force, which is our best daddy and mommy, our grandparents, which are guiding us to do the right thing. So I'm urging you, now start to listen to that inner voice, that you know your place, you know how you can help, you know how you can contribute. And right now, I'm doing my best. So wherever you are in the world, I'm just want to send this loving energy to you to start walking your path and talking your talk about what to do and how to best do it, and come together with like-minded. So here I am on a small island in Mediterranean called Gozo, sister island to Malta. And if you live on the island, since now I don't recommend anybody flying over here until we have sorted this out, and you don't have to come here because of any injections or any tests, because you don't want to be part of that and having stuff put into your body that is not for your best good. So for you who look at this and want to come here and join me and what I do here, let's wait until this is over, then we can come together and do amazing things together. But for now, I think where we are where we're supposed to be, and let's do the best of that situation in the place we are. So if you're here living on Gozo in Malta, I will leave a link down under where you can join me in my Telegram group, and then you find information there where we have a community building. So we're building a community for everybody who want to survive this time, and not just survive this time, actually come together with our spiritual family and have a wonderful time through this time. So until next message, do the best you can to be in your best energy and see the best happen. There will also be other videos where I will share the body work that is needed now to make us aligned, open up all the blockages. There is a body mastery course which blended with yoga, qigong, self-healing, a lot of other stuff mixed together in a course called Body Mastery. And that is how we connect with the master inside of us, again, the conscience, the higher self, the spirit, which is the driver of the body. And then we connect with our mind, so we let our mind help us, and we connect with our body, becoming one. So that journey is so important now, that we take care of ourselves. So if you want to join me there will be other videos here to follow as well, and you can already find a few of them that is already posted. So again, take great care of yourself, and I see you soon again. Thank you. Bye for now.